Somebody please tell me if my goddamn lace is lifting. Just let me look stupid. Tell me to delete the shit. Be like, hey, you should delete this. Your lace looks crazy. Whatever. Hi guys, today I'll be doing my movie review on the movie The Harder They Fall, which released exclusively on Netflix and is directed by Gemma Samuels, and it's starring people like Idris Elba, Lakeith Stanfield, Jonathan Mayers, Regina King, and so on, so on, so on, so on. Yeah, so let's get into it. First, in my movie review, I'm going to be reading the storyline and summary on the movie. It reads as follows. When an outlaw discovers his enemy is being released from prison, he reunites with his gang to seek revenge. So it starts with this family who's eating dinner. A man comes in, and the man and the father exchange a few words, and the man kills the mother and the father, sparing the son's life, but leaves a very stupid ass cross in the middle of his forehead. So then the movie moves forward, and we're taken a few years later into the kid's life. When he's about like grown, who knows? They didn't discuss age. We see his life evolving into a life of crime. In the first scene, he seeks revenge by killing one of the man's accomplices who's murdered his parents. After that, we're introduced to the Nat Love gang, which is the members of the which are members of Nat Loves gang. Yeah, Nat Loves gang. After this, we're introduced to Mr. Nat Love's love interest, which is Stagecoach Mary. After that, a problem erupts where Nat Love's gang has got into some trouble with the last people they robbed, which turns out to be the person who murdered Nat Love's parents. Yeah. Oh shit. There's a gnat in here. No bullshit. Where did it go? This man who killed Nat Love's parents, his name is Rufus Buck. Rufus Buck is currently in prison while they found out that they stole his money. Trudy Black and Cherokee Bill and the rest of his gang come relieve him from prison, as they all have been pardoned from any crimes they've done. Crazy as fuck. Like, who the fuck y'all know? So eventually Nat believes, well, because they had to convince him that he was getting out of jail. When he finally believes that he's getting out of jail, they draft up this plan, like, to confront him because he's out of prison now. So you think I'm just gonna let him walk around scot-free and he kill my goddamn mama and daddy? Like, no. But anyways, I'm derailing. So once Rufus Buck is out of jail with his gang members, they head back to their hometown of Redwood City. He finds out that his money is missing. He ain't happy. While they're creating this elaborate plan to confront Rufus Buck, Stagecoach Mary has her own intentions of confronting Rufus Buck about expanding her business in his town. So she eventually goes over to Redwood City, confronts Rufus about negotiating business deal, but ends up getting taken as bait for Nat Love to come to Redwood so he can get his money back. Rufus has something that Nat Love wants, so he uses this over his head. He bites. So what Rufus requests of Nat Love is that he gives his money back with 10% interest or something shit like that. And he has to do this by robbing the white-only bank. So what does Nat do? He does it. He does that shit. Why is this money important? Trudy and Rufus are seen talking about creating their own empire in Redwood City, building their cities to their safe haven, where they can make their money, run the town, and live in peace and harmony. So Nat does return from Rufus's dumbass request, and with the money, the two gangs basically meet back in Redwood and double cross each other. A war just erupts. The two gangs fight it out. What happens. In the end, it all comes down to just Rufus and Nat, the two arch nemesis. And this is where we find out the truth about Rufus and Nat and their real connection and why Rufus killed his parents. Rufus explains to Nat he killed his parents because they shared the same father, and his father left him and killed his mother in the process, and that they're actually brothers. Nat doesn't take this too lightly and kills him. He did what he came there to do. He killed him, and the film ends and he buries himself and most of his crew to cover his tracks of his already wanted bounty of $10,000. Him robbing a white bank and him just wanting to get away from all the bullshit he's lived his entire fucking life. So that is the complete storyline of the movie, and now moving on to my opinion of the movie. My opinion on the storyline, I'm sorry. The first thing I couldn't help but notice is the relationship between my favorite movie ever, Kill Bill, in this movie. Stagecoach Mary and Trudy Smith's fight just really reminded me of Beatrice and Elle Driver fighting in the trailer in Kill Bill Volume 2. The setting really tied it together because I think they were, what were they, in fucking El Paso? I think outside of El Paso or some wherever Buzz Trailers was. And it was in this Western setting, of course. And this is a Western movie, so the goriness and like the complete urge to kill one another just really reminded me of each other. The overall story, of course, Nat needing his revenge. Like the movie started with what happened, kind of like Kill Bill did. We saw what's his goddamn name? We saw Bill like shooting Beatrice in the head, and we seen Rufus killing Nat's parents and cutting the shit in his head, and it was just so similar. I was like, this is good. I already knew it was gonna be good from the beginning. Next thing that this movie reminded me of Kill Bill was just the similarity between the protagonist and the antagonist. Like in the end of the movie, we see Nat Love finding peace with what he has done and moving on in his life. Same thing with Beatrice when she was crying in the restroom on the floor and she was just so happy like all this bullshit was over. They're the same. And also the antagonist, I don't want to say they're respected, but I would think they were feared more. They were just very similar. Another reason I like this movie is that we just got to see Westerns in a whole new light, like especially within Black people of that time. We didn't have to see them being fucking slaves or being slaved in the time that they lived in, or mistreated or discriminated against. Like we didn't have to see that shit. Had their own town, their own space, and they didn't give a fuck about what the white people had going on. Like, they didn't take no shit, and I really like that, to see us in that light. I think it was really similar to like crime and gang culture today. Like live by the gun, die by the gun. And also the pure loyalty behind one person in the gang is really similar to like American gang culture, like for forever. It was really good on highlighting that. This movie showed real significant issues on what happens to people who have unresolved trauma. Like they come from these terrible ass backgrounds or terrible ass experiences and never got to like heal from it. That was what the whole movie was about to me. Slavery. Everything just results from slavery. Oh, another thing I really loved about the movie is the plot twist. The plot twist was really good to me. Like initially I would have thought it was like a business deal gone wrong, or just him pissing off somebody important in the town or some shit like that. Just by the way the dad was speaking to Rufus, oh, leave this alone, this is between me and you, leave my family out of this. Like, this is your son. Like, what the fuck you mean leave my family out of this? Damn. I really loved this movie. It was just really good. And I haven't seen like too many Westerns outside of Tarantino's Westerns. Sorry, I sound like a fucking nerd for this nigga. But this one was really good. Like it topped my list of movies for real. Like I feel like it was a real W for Black people, Black culture, and a real W for Jimis I'm gonna figure out how to pronounce his fucking name. Hold on.
James Samuel.
This whole time I've been calling him Jimis, but I just seen something that says it's James. It's fucking James. I know you motherfucking lying. His name ain't no goddamn James. Oh shit. James is Steele's brother. The hell? Another Tarantino reference I got. I don't know if it's a Western thing or was it like really from the motherfucking movie Hateful Eight. Red Rock, where you go to hang. Red Wood. I was like, yeah. Next, I'll be doing a character evaluation for each character. And I'm starting with Nat Loves, who is played by Jonathan Mayers. Nat Love was the main character, grows up from trauma, from seeing crime and going into a life of crime. He's confident, he's smart, he's witty, and he was the leader of the gang in revenge seeking for his parents' death. Duh. My opinion on Jonathan Mayers is he broke away from some of his recent roles that I've looked at. Like, it just, when I say that, I just mean that he's a really good actor. He can really sink into his characters and really be them, not just this one trick fucking pony. I really like him. His acting is very much 10 out of 10, and he fine, so he get an extra point. 11 out of 10. I just felt like his character itself, like the character itself, was really passionate, really a lover, though he was a killer. I felt the love within him. He just really lived a life of pain, and he only knows to return the favor to those who have caused him motherfucking pain, you know. He is really self-taught, like a lot of things in life he teaches himself. He had no guidance. His parents died when he was very young. I think he was 9, 10, but that little boy looked like 6. I don't know, I'm really bad with ages. All his social skills are like self-taught. He's just a very self-taught man. The next character is Rufus Buck, played by Mr. Idris Elba. So he was the secondary character, the villain of the story, the antagonist, and my opinion on Rufus Buck is that he really was a victim. Like, I don't know what I would do if my daddy killed my mom and just went to go create a new family and left me for dead, and I'm not gonna do nothing. Yeah, I think I would have killed him too. I don't know if I would have killed his new wife, because that's a little bit cruel. That's a little bit taking it too far, but he was pissed off, so unresolved trauma. He didn't have to do that. He's just a cold-hearted bitch. But that's like a typical Idris Elba role to me. Like everything he plays in, he's a bit of a bitch. The movie The Losers, he double-crossed his team. And even the motherfucking Office, when he was in The Office. I am like Jim. Fuck, just an asshole for no reason. My next one is Miss Stagecoach Mary, played by Zazie Beetz. It was Nat Love's love interest, criminal turned businesswoman, which we gotta respect. She got about that life. I'm so lame. But my opinion on her, Zazie really did not fit this role, and I really don't know why she was casted. I don't know if they wanted to see Miss Stagecoach Mary in a new light or what, but it just really, she really didn't even seem comfortable playing this role. Like the way she was acting just seemed really uncomfortable. Like she didn't want to do it. I'm not saying that's what she said. That's just what I saw from it. She just didn't look okay in that movie. She did do a really good job of portraying a really strong woman, and she was never scared. And I really like that about the role though. So it's not just all negative comments. She did do some things good. When I was watching this, I just really saw Atlanta. Why is Childish Gambino's baby mama in a Western? That's what I thought. She did really good for being strong-willed and independent. The next character I'll be reviewing is Trudy Smith, played by the Regina King. She's just fucking amazing. She was Rufus Buck's right-hand woman. She was a hardcore gang member, and she was a bit mysterious. Like, who is Miss Stang over here shooting people and not giving a fuck? So my opinion on Miss Trudy is that she felt like she just had to be strong her whole life. Her backstory about her sister and her first body. act of crime, killing the person that was fucking with her sick ass sister, just shows how she just felt the need to be strong her whole life. She really came from unresolved trauma. Like, what good is a kid killing a kid? Like, that's not okay. And I'm pretty sure she has not healed from that. She was also a very strong woman and was never scared. And then I feel like she was perceived as a follower or not a lot in the movie, and she was not. She was not. She was her own woman, her own boss, and she even felt like that. Like, she was really sure of herself. Regina King has just proven time and time again to be one of the greatest actresses that we've ever experienced, and I'm really happy for her that she gets to play these really diverse roles and just excel in all of them and really show off her talent. The next character I'll be doing is Cherokee Bill, played by my man, Lakeith Stanfield. So he was the top shooter for Rufus Buck's gang. I forgot the name of the gang, honestly. He was just really a sharpshooter. That was like all that I could get from his role. Like, I couldn't get no backstory or anything. My opinion on my own man is that he did the shit for kicks and giggles. Not doing the gang shit for kicks and giggles, but like killing people for kicks and giggles because he was good at it. He was a sharpshooter. I'm pretty sure he comes from an ain't shit background too, just like the rest of them. And also, the character, don't cuss me out, reminded me of Go-Go. He reminded me of Go-Go because Go-Go was Oren Ishii's top shooter, and they have the same type of attitude, very sure of themselves, gets the job done, one of the best in their realms. She was the best in Japan. He's the best in the West. And also, I feel like Lakeith Stanfield really has like a signature role, like where he's just too cool for shit, or just really reliable, confident, very sure of himself in every role that he plays. Even the character behind the role, they're just very sure of themselves, or they just really don't give a fuck. And I feel like that's him as a person too. I really love him. His acting is great. I'm not just dick riding. Next character is Jim Beckworth, played by CJ. That's why I called him CJ, because I didn't know how to say his goddamn last name. RJ Kyler. One of them. RJ. So he was the sharpshooter for the Nat Love gang, and he was a kid. That's all I could draw from his character. My opinion on him was that he was just very childish, of course. He's a motherfucking child. He probably didn't grow up in an area with many role models, or in an area where people can't progress, which resulted in his crime life since he's so young. Like, that's one reason why I'm saying this. He was cocky, but also he was confident, which made him like a likable character. I can't say I didn't like him. I really liked his role in what he meant to the gang and what he meant overall, like who he was. I really liked his role, and he is good with what he does. He feels like he's the sharpshooter of the West, which we're taught an important lesson of being humble, because he does end up being killed by Cherokee Bill. Even Bass Reeves and his other members will be like, hey, you need to calm down, and he's just like, nah, like real sure of himself type shit. Like, and even Cherokee Bill got humble when he was murdered by an upcoming character I'm gonna talk about. His death was very, very sad. I kind of teared up a bit, but then again, I cry a lot. The next character we'll be talking about is Cuffy. Their given name is Cathay Williams, played by Daniel Deadweiler. This person is the bouncer for Stagecoach Mary, and they become part of the Nat Love gang. Honestly, I'm referring to Danielle as they because in the movie, we're really being challenged to see different types of people from this time period. Different type of black people, to be specific. Because as we see in the movie, she wears very unisexual clothing. And when she's asked her real name, she's really uncomfortable like saying it. Like, what the fuck do you want to know for? Like, my name's Cuffy to you. Don't call her Cathay. She was really sure of who she was in the movie. She was a loyal, real ass bitch. Real as fuck. Like, and also we got to see an inside, maybe, of how people acted back then to less feminine women. Beckworth's comment on her when she was undressing, getting ready to go rob the whites only bank with Nat, really made that bring bring some light into the situation. Next, I'll be doing a music evaluation on the movie. Every music in movies means something. I'm not gonna do every song here, just a few that really stood out to me. So the first song is The Promised Land. The song plays when Rufus Buck is out of prison and him and his gang head back to their hometown of Red Rock. This song really relates to the film because after that scene is played, Rufus and Trudy are seen having a conversation about creating Red Rock as their new paradise. Like, that's going to be the promised land because they get to do whatever they want in the city. They run it how they want, make money, prosper, be safe, all of that. So that's the promised land to them. The song was just really great for the scene. I feel like all Black people at that time really wanted their promised land because we're coming from a time where we were fucking slaves. Next song I'll be evaluating is Black Woman, and this song is by my girl Lauryn Hill. It is fitting for the scene because we are just seeing Stagecoach Mary in this scene, and Stagecoach Mary in real life and in the movie is very strong, independent Black woman, and those we're just really important. So that's all that I can really say. Like, we're really important. So great song, great choice, great artist. The last song I'll be evaluating is 3 and 30 Years, and it's just insinuating the time period the time period of the events leading up to now in the movie. Overall, the movie music was just really great. One thing I really liked is how they didn't use like Western themed music. You know how movies of certain time periods, location, yada yada yada, use like they want to stay on theme, on brand or whatever. This movie really took a play with just Black music overall and relating it to our problems. Then things relate from now to then. Also, the use of non-Western music just really gives you a chance to listen to the lyrics of the songs and really like interpret what's going on in the movie to the song. And I really like that because I'm a big ass thinker. Like, I like to think into things. I'm an overthinker. Hella Black artists. Like, we heard Kid Cudi, Lauryn Hill, we heard Jay-Z. We done heard everybody in this goddamn movie, and I really love it. It's for us. The director, James Samuels, of the movie actually did the music as well, which I really like. I really like him because he did one of my favorite movies. It's not that high up in the favorites. He did the Great Gatsby soundtrack. Like, that movie's perfection. The 2013 one, by the way, not the 1974 one or the 2004 one. Yeah, he did the 2013 one, the best one. Don't care. Argue with your mama. Next, we're going to be talking about the protagonist in the movie, which is Nat Loves. Why do I think he is? I just felt like he was filled with pain, but also he was filled with more love than pain. He really cared about those around him. Though he was seeking revenge from someone and knew people he loved was involved, he wanted to create less collateral damage as possible. Even with the bombing of the money in the city, which made the city like evacuate. I don't know if that was Bass Reeves, the sheriff, who was helping Nat Loves doing, or Nat Loves doing, since he is like the leader, the ringleader. But it just showed there that he really cared for other people other than himself. And also with him burying his friends and telling him like, get little dude out the street, it just really showed that he cared. So the movie's antagonist is Rufus Buck. I think the antagonist is, I don't think it's Rufus. It's the motherfucking dad. He's a bitch ass nigga. Fuck. So he's the antagonist in the movie without being in the movie more than 5 minutes. So next we're moving on to costume design. I'm just gonna be stating my opinion. I'm not gonna be giving like any facts or like historical facts on like the actual costumes in that time period. Like, I don't got time for that. I'm not a fashion historian. I do not believe that fashion was at its high-tech moments. I feel like they passed with grand dressing and moved on to more relaxed clothing because they were developing like a working class system in the 1800s. Most people had to join that, and I feel like they really stuck to that with their linens, cottons, and you know, basic clothing pieces in this were really consistent. The more expensive luxury fabrics came on more sophisticated clothings and upscale clothing, of course. You also see like the difference between like the white town where Rufus robbed the banks from fashion and the black town. White people were really serious about how they dressed back then, like suits and ties every day, suits and bow ties every day. Women uncomfortable ass dresses all the fucking time, or in a shirt, skirt, vest combo with a headpiece. Like, that's how they dressed over there, because they felt like that was just upscale clothing. Black people were more freely dressed, occasionally dressed, because we do that today. We dress by occasion, you know. Never mind. In the clubs or in the socialite areas, you'll see them pretty much dressed up. When they're relaxing, you'll see them dressed down. In the streets, you'll see them dressed in how they would dress. I also really liked about costume design is that they did not have the black people looking all homely in slave clothes, wearing fucking potato sacks, no shoes, or dirty ass shoes. So next I'll be saying the characters' clothing, which I feel like highlighting them. I'm gonna start with Nat Loves gang. I feel like they dress really relaxed and ready to get the job done all the time. Like, Nat Love was a true cowboy. His denim with his leather jacket and his red bandana, he was just very cowboyish. Bill Pickett and Jim Beckwourth, they were dressed really relaxed all the time, just there to do some of crime, make some money. Characters like Bass Reeves and like sometimes Trudy dressed really sophisticated. I feel like Bass Reeves' choice of dress resigned with his like personality along with his career, because like he's a deputy or whatever, and he's an older guy and he has more respect around the community, so his dressing kind of really highlighted who he was. Trudy, on the other hand, her dressing was more sophisticated but in a different way. She kind of wore dark clothing all the time, and I just feel like this really defined her deviance and like her evilness. But I don't know, I don't see too much evil in Trudy, but then again I could see it, like her will of not giving a fuck and just her determination to be the baddest bitch. Bad bitches wear black. And you see people like motherfucking Cherokee Bill who wear the same thing all the time. I feel like when you just see Bill and you see that damn hat, you already know what time it is. Their clothing just helped them be easily remembered, if I could say it like that. So the setting, I don't really have too much to say about the setting. What I remember mostly about the setting is that the white town really like screamed white only, like all white, which was like funny to me. I was like, is it snowing there? But then I was like, no, it's not snowing there. I think they did that to be funny. And then the black town was just very westerny, like back to reality, because you know, I feel like they put themselves on the pedestal. When we come to the last part of the movie review, I will be doing the parallel from the characters' real life selves to their movie selves. Starting with Nat Love, of course, the main character. He was born a slave but left after the Homestead Act and moved out west. Fun fact, 1 in 4 cowboys who went out west were black. And also the stories of Nat Love's real life are very vague to the movie. Everything they heard about Nat Love in real life were basically stories, like no documents or words mouth type shit. Like, it's real vague. Bass Reeves was actually a U.S. deputy in real life, so of course that's a check off the correctness list. He was also born a slave, but he escaped. That's good. He spoke different languages, good in his craft, and a solid ass nigga. I feel like there was a good parallel between the person themselves and the character. Bass Reeves was a good person in real life, and in the movie I feel like he really stuck to his morals. Like, he believed Rufus Buck did not deserve to be out of prison. He didn't put his job's morals over his real life morals. So next is Rufus Buck. I read Rufus Buck actually passed away when he was 18 years old, which is really sad. He was black and Native American, which is cool, because like I feel like we don't hear about that a lot. He actually did create a gang in real life, so that was interesting to hear about. Also, the parallels was really similar between that character. He was also for the people and wanted better for his people, but of course he just had his ways that didn't really go hand in hand. He died at Fort Smith, which was a good parallel in the movie. Cherokee Bill in real life was black, Mexican, and white, so he was Blexican. That was interesting as fuck. Like, who been dibbling and dabbling in these pots? And he killed his brother-in-law and was an outlaw, so yeah, their characters really coincided. He didn't live to see 20, which is actually very sad. They were very similar characters. So that's the end of my movie review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this goddamn video, comment, and tell me which movies I should do next. Hope to see you guys soon.
Until I need you, I need you, I need you.
too late.